Hey, welcome back. You made it. Day 2 of Walk with Jess. And so I'm going to share a comment that I came across recently, and I want you to think about how it makes you feel. As a business owner, as a leader of a team, I came across this comment, and this guy was really frustrated with his staff, with his employees, and he was thinking about just cleaning shop. And he said, um, I feel like they're just putting in the bare minimum. They're not going above and beyond at all, and they're only working 8 to 5. So I want you to think about, again, as a leader, as a business owner, how does that make you feel? Some of you may be thinking, oh my gosh, I can completely relate to that. Some of you may be thinking, I wish I could get my employees to work 8 to 5. Some of you in this COVID era may be thinking, I don't even know when my employees are working, everyone's remote. Um, but then if you're like me, it infuriates you. And it was so frustrating for me to read that comment because as the business owner, as the leader, it's your fault. It's your fault if your team is not producing. So, as the business owner, um, as a business owner, I used to be an employee though. And so when you are thinking about your expectations for your team, when you're thinking about your company culture, your processes, put yourself in that employee position again and think about, how would I feel? How does this motivate me? So that you can get just that better understanding of what your team is going through and thinking of. So, one of the biggest problems in business is revolved around employees. How do we find them? How do we hire them? How do we motivate them? How do we keep them? And so, while we're not going to go into how we find them today, that will be another topic. We're going to talk about how we motivate them and how we keep them today. So, I have 5 tips to help you um, motivate and keep your really good employees. Now, there are going to be some that slip through the cracks. He might have to clean shop a little bit. But if your whole team is struggling, if your whole business is struggling, you need to take a look at yourself as the leader. So, number one, set reasonable expectations. And I said reasonable. So, you may work 60 hours a week, but it is your business. It is not their business. This may be the most important thing to you in your life, but this is not their most important thing for them. They have things outside of work. So, um, understanding that and having that clear expectation of when they should be working and when they shouldn't be working. Um, Also, you may check your emails at 11 o'clock at night. You may check your emails at 4 o'clock in the morning, but you can't expect your employees to respond to you immediately. You can't expect them to be reading their emails at 11 o'clock at night and 4 o'clock in the morning. If you hired somebody to be an office manager, you can't expect them to go and pick up your kids or do all of the accounting work and get you clean financial statements or estimate projects. So, having those clear expectations for your employees. And then, number two, focus on the results, not the clock. I hire my team to produce and pay my team to produce a result for our business. I don't pay them for their time. And so think back and look at the different people that are in your company and what are the results that you expect them to produce for your business. If you have an estimator, what are the results that you're expecting? If you have a project manager, what are the results that you're expecting from them? If you have an assistant, what are the results that they should be producing? Now, people in the field are going to be a little bit different because there is some time tied to their work and their results. but there's still a result that you're paying for. You have an expectation and a result that you're wanting from them. So that should, every day you can communicate that result to them, and that is what they should be focused on. So in addition to that, I mean, one of the big results with the field is going to be completing a job on schedule or ahead of schedule. That's going to be a huge result for your business. And letting them know and understand that and what the schedule is for the day and what the expectations are. And that kind of leads me into the communication piece. I mentioned it already when talking about the results, but having clear communication. Does your team understand what those expectations are? Do they understand and know what they're— Oh, I lost you. Do they have the resources that they need to be successful? Do they have the knowledge? Do they have the training? Do they have the tools? Do they have the software? Um, so that's a big piece in um, motivating your team and keeping them successful. So, number 4, rewards. Everybody is motivated differently. I know on my team, I have people that are motivated um, by completing tasks. Like they just love checking off their task list and having no tasks left at the end of the day. I have people that are motivated by recognition and praise. I have people that are motivated by competition and competing and winning with each other. I have people that are motivated by money. And it's understanding what your team is motivated by and then producing those rewards for when they succeed. And then number 5, only A players are allowed. That's it. Only A players are allowed in. If a B and C player happen to get into your organization, keeping the time there very minimum. Because once you have B and C players in there, all your A players are going to leave. And um, so that's another key is keeping the A play or only A players allowed in your business. So, as the leader and as the business owner, I want you to go back and think about um, if you have made the comment that you can't keep good employees, if you have been having a really hard year or 2 years and you're blaming it in the back of your mind on your team, you're frustrated with your employees, I want you to go back and look at these 5 areas and score yourself, rate yourself. How am I doing as a leader in these areas? And keeping employees is a lot easier and a lot cheaper than finding new employees. So that's why we wanted to focus on this topic first, motivating and keeping your A players. So go through and look at your organization and take those employees that are A players, that are doing a kick-ass job, that are solid, and walk through these steps. Do I have reasonable expectations for them? Am I focusing on the results? And am I communicating what the results should be to those team members? Do I reward them on their performance? And then, of course, you wouldn't even be looking at them if they weren't an A player. So I hope you found this very useful. Um, Comment any comments that you have or any key takeaways from the conversation. That would be great. And then if you found this valuable, please like or share it for others. So thank you, and I will talk to you tomorrow on your walk with Jess.